Trump came here, coming at you with another video from ChooseYourRelationships.com off of Love Can't Wait, which can be found on Amazon.com. I got a question from a loyal fan who purchased one of my books, and he sent me an email and he wanted me to answer his question. And it's about long distance relationships, and if you've been following me for a while, you know how I feel about long distance relationships. But I'm going to tell you what I think while I'm reading. So he says, much love, SG. I'm halfway through your book, and I will most definitely leave a review on Amazon. I can really identify with the info. At 50 years old, much of the wisdom you are sharing is parallel to my own. I truly appreciate the chapter on disrespect, since I see my young men erroneously making the mistake of not checking these females from the very start. I have learned to live by a code that says, never allow yourself to be part of any deal you can't walk away from. Amen to you, brother. That fact about men thinking a woman will respect if they try to please her in every... That fact about men thinking a woman will respect if they try to please her in everything, just like you said, it is the total opposite. No one loves a ass kisser. You got that right. You kiss ass all day, you ain't gonna ever, people are never gonna respect you. And he goes on to say, if it is not too much trouble, could you do a video on females and family boundaries? I have a long distance relationship with a Dominican young lady, 31 to be exact. We have a rental on the island to which I pay the rent, and she takes care of the internet. Her family lives across the street, and for safety reasons we have left an extra set of keys with them. The problem I have is that her sister-in-laws feel she can take the keys and let herself in the apartment to borrow certain things as needed when my girl is not around. I have told her I'm not a big fan of this due to safety concerns and certain things I have seen on the surveillance system I have installed in the apartment. I'm not saying her sister-in-law would steal anything. I have simply noted her lack of concern about securing our place when she comes over. There have been many break-ins in the neighborhood, so I try to keep a low profile when vacationing there, and for the most part don't invite strangers to my place and keep my front door closed in hopes of avoiding a home invasion by local thugs looking for an easy score. Well, when it comes to you gotta set boundaries up front. That way she'll know what to expect from you. And one thing about family, I'll tell you something about family. When families start to mix in with your business, it usually goes straight to hell. When family get involved in your personal business, when family get involved in, like for example, for this situation, families using the household for whatever reason. If a family member can go in the house and they don't have anything to do with your house, that's usually not a good idea. Now, if she took the family member in the house and she's responsible, okay, that's cool. But if the family member can just go over there and find the key and go in the house, it usually turns out to be, that's bad business. because then what happens is the family doesn't really, they're not going to care as much as you or your girl. That's just how that is. People are just like that. So if anything happens with the family while they're over there, they're going to say, oh, I didn't know, I didn't know, So it's going to be that type of shit. And the family member might be lying to your woman too. See, they'll tell you, they might say one thing to your woman, and she'll, more than likely, in some cases, she'll take their word for it, especially if it's her sister. She give her the benefit of the doubt. So you got to take all that into account. That's why I say, when family started getting mixed up in your business, personal business, or household, in this case, that's usually not. That's usually not good. That's usually a recipe for a disaster. That's just based on my experience and what I've seen over the years. So I'm gonna continue. It says. Her family lives across the street, and for safety reasons, we have left a set of keys. No, I read that already. I'm not saying. Okay. Most recently, her in-laws came by and decided to turn our living room into a hair salon, and left my front door wide open for an entire 40 minutes while she was there doing hair in my living room. She knew that she knew what I felt about exposing my place to strangers and passerbys. See, that's what I'm saying. See, the in-law is over there using the house to fix hair, and the door's wide open, and you said you don't like that. And now she's inviting people over there that you don't even know, so you don't really know what's going on over there. That's why I said it's not a good idea, So he goes on to say, he told his girl about what happened, and she told to disregard his wishes. I recorded the event on video and asked my girl if she was aware of this incident, since she was not home at the time. She wasn't even around. See, she said her sister-in-law told her she went over there to get a curling iron, but that was about it. So she lied, I showed her the footage and told her this behavior was disrespectful to our place, and the keys were emergency purposes, not for personal use. This was not the first time she has let herself in, but this particular episode truly annoyed me. She claims to have written to her immediately on Facebook to address the issue, but since we have been having our issues, I have not followed up to see what was the resolution. At this time, I told her if my rules can't be respected, whether I'm there or back in the U.S., then she should pay the rent and count me out. To which she said, okay, I will pay the rent. About a month ago, rent was due last Thursday, the 15th, and she tried to sheepishly reach out to me, but I simply ignored the attempts and got back to her on my time. I have not asked whether the rent has been paid or not. The place is not in my name, and all arrangements were made by her. We bought a few things together for the apartment, but I have no qualms or chalking it up to the game and walking away. She seems to be regretting having arrogantly saying she would pay the rent, but in my book, you should not write checks you can't cash. You right about that? My apologies for the long story, but I hope you can do a video on females setting boundaries between her family, friends, and her man. We have been together 5 years, long distance, but I spend a few months out of the year over there. She wants to get married and come here, but I told her that I'm not seeing what I need to see just yet to make her my wife and bring her here. That section on the combative woman sounded just like her. That's a section in my book talking about combative women and women being passive aggressive. That's a form of disrespect. The whole rent ordeal started because she chose to move my surveillance cameras to an angle that she felt was more subtle to her taste. I said the cameras only point to the living room and the kitchen. What is the problem? She said she did not feel comfortable having me watching her every move while in those areas, and the cameras should only focus on the front door, nowhere else. I said, you are very cute, but I have more important things to do to watch you all day. I asked her if she could place them back as they were, to which she said, I'm not moving them back. Which is when I said, then maybe you should pay the rent, and hung up the phone. Oddly enough, she decided to place the cameras back to their original position on the 15th, but I think it might be a little too late. Thanks for your videos, SG. You are helping the young, middle, and old. She placed the cameras back in the position at the original position on the 15th because the rent was due. That's being passive aggressive, man. And don't marry a woman like this. You cannot marry a woman like this. I'm telling you. If you marry a woman like this, my God. Especially if she comes to America. Oh my goodness. And she's coming over there with this same type of attitude, this passive aggressiveness. You know, there's no telling what the fuck she would do if you were to move her over here and come to America. And when it comes to these long distance relationships, here's my philosophy. I always ask everyone that has a long distance relationship, what's the end goal? Is she gonna move? Or you're gonna move? Or y'all just having fun? Now, if you're just having fun, hey, that's cool in the game. You know, y'all can do the weekend thing every once in a while, and if you fuck, you suck, you just do whatever. That's cool. Now, I'm not gonna, if we just having fun, I'm not gonna put too much into that. I'm not gonna invest too much time and energy into that either. You know, hey, I might teach her how to fish. I might teach her how to earn her own money. Hey, that's cool in the game. You know, I do that anyway. But I'm not gonna invest that much time and money with somebody if I don't see myself being with her long term. So I'm not gonna pay no rent. I'm not gonna keep doing favors on and on for long periods of time. Now I might, if I come into town, we'll hang out, you know, if she's available, or we'll, you know, do whatever we do if I'm in the DR or whatever, you know, that's cool. But I'm not gonna put that much into it. You're not gonna have the keys to my house. You know, your family's not gonna have access to my house either. You know, your family shouldn't be in there anyway. I mean, unless it's some type of emergency or something like that. And then she should bring her family into your spot. You know what I'm saying? They shouldn't be able to bring random people over there and use it for their benefit like that. You know, that's being irresponsible on her part. So when it comes to long distance relationship, you know, my thing is, what's your end goal? I mean, are y'all gonna be together eventually? If not, I'm not putting anything into it. Very little time and energy and money. You know, now if I see myself being with this person, okay, we can plan something. You know, who's gonna move? Is it her or you? And where is this going? And what it's gonna take for us to get there, to be together. Because the ultimate goal is to be together in the same city or same town. So you have to establish all that up front. Establish boundaries up front, because if you don't, you got to sit down and talk about it. And you got to tell her what you expect of her and what she can expect of you. Because if you don't talk about it, then you leave things by chance. And this is why, more than likely, this is how this happened. Because, you know, a lot of people kind of like, a lot of guys don't talk about it, a lot of things. And a lot of women don't know what they shouldn't be doing sometimes. They just be doing some shit. They be all over the goddamn place. And then when the woman starts doing shit that you don't like, then a lot of guys get upset. And, you know, that's when things go straight to hell in most cases. So that's what I think about that. You know, so if you like what you heard, subscribe to my channel. Check out my blog, chooseyourrelationships.com. Join my Players Club. And share this message with anybody that you think it would be helpful toward. So if you got questions, I got answers. Until next time, Sharp Gamers out. Peace.